green morning, green afternoon, green evening. We extend a very warm welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the globe from different countries, from different continents, in different time zones. It's a pleasure, it's a treat to have all of you with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having a pleasure to have this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever time zone, wherever you are, we extend a very warm welcome to Shri Vijay Shastri Kotamartiji. He's the CEO, the Kotamarti Group, CPA's Professional Corporation, Chartered Professional Accountant, Toronto, Canada. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we are reaching all together a different continent where from we have got the resource person, our distinguished guest, our distinguished speaker. It's early morning when you talk about Canada, Latin America, United States, all that part. And people have enjoyed their beautiful lunch and now they're heading for the evening tea in Europe. And Central Asia, of course, again, people are just having their evening soup. And in India, people must be sitting now next to the dining tables and watching this particular program. And of course, in Latin America, no, in Southeast Asia, when I come, it's little ahead of us. So when I talk to some of the people in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, they told Doc 9 o'clock, that's 11 o'clock or somewhere 10:30, somewhere 11:15. So let me just roll quickly while extending a very warm welcome to Sri Vijay Shastri Kotamarti ji. And today's subject is very, very interesting. It's 855th webinar during this coronavirus, during this pandemic. We started on 25th of March last year, that is 2020. We have come a long way. And today's subject is, who am I? This question I have to answer to myself. Who am I? Do I know who am I? Okay. The body or sixth sense? I think this all will be taken up by Vijay Shastriji. So on behalf of ICSI, International Chamber for Service Industry, we extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Vasudev Kutumbakam, the whole world is one family. At present, situation is very, very, very difficult. And I personally feel that we can only pray to Almighty and we can request each one of you, kindly take necessary precautions. Do not step out of your residence unless it is badly needed. Stay at home if it's possible, because everything is online. Corporate houses, companies, everybody has allowed. 1.65 billion children are away from schools, colleges, universities, institutions. India being the second most populous country of the world, you can well imagine our challenges, our requirements, and our capacities. What we need in this country is a lot. During the thick of pandemic last year on 29th of July, there was a new education policy after 34 years. This is a game changer because education is the base, it's the foundation, it is the narrative. How you bring national character, national values, national perspective, there the education plays a very important role for all of us. The Honorable Prime Minister of India wants to make India Atmanirbhar Bharat. India is thinking, India is growing, India is becoming self-reliant. We have to move in that direction. Honorable Finance Minister of India, she gave a wonderful policy, if you all understand. That was on 1st of February when she gave the budget. And in that budget, the vertical number 4, reinvigorating human capital, is very important next to our heart. Human resources, capacity building, education, skills, competencies, capabilities, all that when we talk about is something very, very important. We extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Ramanuj Pandeyji and Vimal Chauhanji, Nanlaiji, Sakshiji, and all other dignitaries, those are joining us on this particular platform. We extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Now, after the budget was announced on 1st of February, from 2nd of February, we started our wonderful journey. There were 31 officers from Army, Navy, Air Force, and civilian clothes. They all are associated on once upon a time with the scenic schools in various capacities. And today it's a proud to share with all of you when I'm sharing that now the girls have also started coming to scenic schools. We extend a very warm welcome to all of you. And Nan Lai ji has also joined, Sakshi has joined, Vimal Chauhan ji has joined, Mamta has joined, Ria Rana has joined, Julie ji has joined, Mohinder Kaur Grewal ji has joined, and then, of course, Saurabh has also joined. We extend a very warm welcome to all of them. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Keep posting your views. We wish to hear from you. Now, let us save every drop of water. It's so rightly said. Last 1 year and 3 months of this year, 15 months, we have collected a lot of data from the world over. All the research data which we are collecting, we are trying to understand the cause of the First World War, Second World War. We do not want that world should be heading towards some bad days because water scarcity is going to be very alarming and there's going to be an acute shortage of the water. And that is, I'm talking about consumable, drinkable, usable water. And that all can be taken care of if we take care of our ladies. Women empowerment is very important because right from our home we pick up the things. So girls and our ladies, they play very important role in our life. We got to be taken care of. Hearty welcome to Awadh Narayan Dikshit ji from Lucknow, Sonu ji from Aizawl, and Sakshi ji from Uttarakhand, and Mamta ji from Pauri Garhwal, and couple of other dignitaries. BB Subba ji joining us. That is, good evening, Mr. Kota Marthi ji and Dr. Sharma. Thank you very much. Hearty welcome. Pleasure to have all of you with us. Thank you, Vimal. Great pleasure to have you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our chamber strongly believes that education got to be holistic. Education is incomplete without skills, and education and skills are incomplete without some outcome of that. It may be employment, it may be self-employment, it may be entrepreneurship, whatsoever we have to do. Government of India has got 39 sector skill councils. These are the various sector skill councils which are taking care of lot of verticals whatsoever you can think of. And there's a separate ministry also now in India, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. And you would also be very happy to know that last week our Dr. Nirmaljeet Singh Kalsi has taken over the charge as a chairperson of the National Council for Vocational Education and Training. Ladies and gentlemen, vocational is very important. Training is very important. Skills are very important. So NSDC, Sector Skill Council, Skills Universities, ITIs, they all are going to be the part of now NCVET. That something is remarkable. Jobalakshmi ji, thank you very much. Thanks for joining. It's a great pleasure. We extend a very warm welcome to you. Our chamber, with the help of the Indian diaspora, way back in 1994, we brought the concept all the way from Europe, from Canada, from Latin America, from Switzerland, and when I take it to even United States, we clubbed together and the confluence we brought was India's first finishing school, and that was for service industry, tourism, hospitality, airlines, media entertainment, retail, education, health sector, wellness sector, logistics, whatever you talk, they are all services. So ladies and gentlemen, 1994 onward, when we talk about this beautiful concept of finishing school, where your communication, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, continuous learning, not in a dry way, but musical way, with humor, with fun, with dances, with art, craft, everything as a part of the program, soft skill and life skill. Welcome to the finishing school of ICSI concept. Here is the complete canvas where right from the day one till you pass out from there, complete concept. Now, ICSI is also helping during Corona, like Niti Aayog is helping for Atal Tinkering Lab and incubation centers. We are helping for the finishing labs at this point of time. We want whosoever needs any support in India. So, ladies and gentlemen, youth empowerment is very important. And all of us, we got to understand all power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in yourself and start saying from today, I can do it, I will do it, I must do it. Teachers empowerment is also very important if we want youth empowerment. Our chamber has taken a pledge that 2021 we have dedicated for teachers and youth empowerment, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and we are moving in that particular direction with a focus on service industry. We are having a lots of beaming. Saturday, Sunday, we have got more programs. There are 28 programs per week of the ICSI to cover almost all aspects which are required in our day-to-day life. Now, this morning we started from Tamil Nadu, and there was a women empowerment program, and ladies had given such a wonderful inputs to all of us, and that was something remarkable. We had 1 hour and 40 minute session. Thereafter, at 5 p.m. from Singapore, we had Wealth of Water Conservation Entrepreneurship, where Shri Anil Manocha from Singapore and Saurabh Ghosh, Secretary, Community Friendly Movement, CFM, they all were together with us. 6:30 p.m. Before this program, we had Ayurveda. Let's tackle the corona wisely. And today was the 50th program, Ayurveda for the global wellness, and the third program after the second wave or the muted virus, what you call it in India, Dr. Parmeshwar Arora. And then just a little while before, 15 minutes back, I finished with Mr. Rajiv Raizada, our advisor for the finances, for the banking and insurance. We had done the program. During the entire Corona last year and these 3.5 months also, what we have picked and what we have learned is basic food, basic health, and basic education. The world is back to basics, sustainable development, what we have to talk about. And there we have got our distinguished guest of the evening who is going to talk to us. Who am I? The body or the sixth sense? We extend a very warm welcome to Sri Vijay Shastri Kotamartiji, the CEO, Kotamarti Group, CPA's Professional Corporation, Chartered Professional Accountant, Toronto, Canada. And I'm also grateful to Gurpreet to put us across to Vijay Shastri Kotamartiji. When she was kind enough, she came from the Sector Skill Council of the Wellness and gave a wonderful input. And that is the time she thought of why not the ICSI should take on the journey with Vijay Shastriji as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me in extending a very warm welcome this morning, this afternoon, and this evening while talking about and while sharing the vision with Vijay Shastriji, enriching us. Who am I, the body or sixth sense? We extend a very warm welcome. It's indeed a great pleasure to have you with us all the way from Canada. Thank you very much for giving us your valuable time, because the most precious commodity on this planet is time. And of course, with that is energy. So we are going to get both from you. Thank you very much for joining. And we would request you kindly take on today's session. Give us your vision, give us your valuable inputs. And I also wish to understand. Till date, I am answering. I'm looking forward to the answer. Who am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Why I'm doing? What can I do? So there are a couple of questions in the mind. So we extend a very warm welcome to Vijay Shastriji, and we take on the journey forward. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes from Telangana. He's a wonderful person, and his roots are in India. His emotions are in India, but at present, professionally, he's in Canada. So, what a beautiful bridge, and what a beautiful confluence, and what a wonderful linkage we are going to be together. Vijay Shastriji.
Namaste, Dr. Sharma. Thanks for that great, extraordinary introduction, which I'm not sure whether I deserve or not. But definitely, I am from Telangana. I did my schooling in Hyderabad, my CA from Hyderabad, and my roots are definitely way back from India. And I went to Kenya for about 10 years, and thereafter I came to Canada. It's been over 20 years that I'm living in Canada and practicing as a chartered professional accountant here in Canada. So my thanks to you, Dr. Sharma, to you as well as to ICSCI for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts on who am I, the body or the sixth sense. Everyone must be wondering that how is it that a chartered accountant who has his designation from 4 countries and 3 continents, is speaking on this topic instead of speaking on auditing, finance, and business. I would like all the distinguished guests attending this webinar to note that I am not a philosopher or a writer. I have listened to the discourses and all the 18 chapters of Srimad Bhagavad Gita at least 4 times, narrated by Swami Paripurnanandaji, who I consider as my guru. And I'll be sharing today with you all some knowledge that I've acquired through these discourses on Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita helps us understand who we are and what is the purpose of our life. According to me, it is not a religious book, but it is something that outlines about who we are and how do we become the part of that one and only Almighty. I have read the Bible, I have read the Quran, I have read the Gita, and what I have found is that, you know, all the three religious books depict the same thing, and they talk about, you know, attaining eternal peace according to Christianity, attaining Jannat according to Islam, and attaining moksha according to Hinduism. Whatever may be the religion or the faith we follow, eventually we are all one. And according to the Gita, all our souls are one. We are one soul of the Almighty, and we are just the parts in different souls. So, coming back to this topic, let's each one of us ask ourselves, who am I? We always identify ourselves with the body. Like I say, I'm a chartered accountant. Somebody will say, I'm a doctor. I'm an engineer. And Dr. Sharma says, I'm in the service industry. You know, so we all identify ourselves always with what we do. But actually, our body is comprised of 24 elements, which are, I will just spell them out one by one. There are the 5 Panchabhutas, which are the earth, water, fire, air, and space. So these are the 5 elements out of the 24 elements. The next 5 elements are the Panch Karmendriyas, the 5 organs that perform the activities in our body: the mouth, or the organ of speech, the 2 hands that we have, the 2 feet, the organ of excretion, and the sense organ of reproduction. So these are the 5 karmendriyas. Then they are all together called karmendriyas, which interact with the material or outer world. And then we have the pancha which are the 5 sense organs: ears, eyes, nose, tongue, and skin. The purpose of the Gnanendriyas is to receive and transmit it to the inner self, and the purpose of the Karmendriyas is to perform the action directed by the mind once the Gnanendriyas transmit them to the inner self. The 5 sensory organs are speech, touch, smell, sound, and sight. And the last 4 out of the 24 elements that I am mentioning that we are part of are the mind, intellect, and what I call the 6th sense is the state of mind, the chitta or antarkarna, which is the one which I call the 6th sense, because that is the one which will tell us what we do, and it lets us think, imagine, feel, and process according to our intellect. So the intellect, manasa, buddhi, and those two, they interact with the chitta and come to a decision. And the final one, last but not the least, is one which we all call I. And that, according to me, is the ahankar, which is the ego. I is the purpose of identifying is just to, if everybody is in the form of, Sukshma Sharira, then we will not be able to see anyone. So there has got to be a body to everyone. So we have a body which, identifies us. So, ego is something which makes me say I, and it identifies myself. So that's how we are identifying us. But I consider that, even I'm using the word I, but I have to identify myself. So, uh, so we identify our body with the word I. Then comes, but one has to realize that the body keeps changing every moment. From the time we are born to the time we die, every moment our body is changing till it eventually reaches its final change, which is death. So it's the body which, that dies, because, what is inside and what remains always is the soul, and the soul never dies. It's only the body that dies. So identifying ourselves with the body, saying I am the body, I am this, I am that, will definitely keep us as long as we are on this earth, and as long as people are able to see us inside that body. But after that, we do not know what's going to happen. Really speaking, actually, there is no difference between the five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space, which are outside the body, and the same five elements which are in our body, in addition to the other 90 elements which I mentioned earlier. So basically, what separates us, these five elements that are in our body, from the outside five elements is just the skin. So we have to realize that, the only thing that we are part of the Almighty, and our body is also another creation that exists on this earth, and the purpose of which is to eventually become part of the one Almighty, which I earlier mentioned. In Christianity, they say, eternal peace, Jannat, and moksha. Human being is the only animal in the entire universe who has been given the sixth sense, or the antakarana, by God, to use the intellect and analyze between what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. To realize that we are not the body but the soul or Atma, we have to use the sixth sense, or the chitta, which is the antakarana, to understand who we are and what is the purpose of our life. Identifying ourselves with the body, which is not permanent or saswata, as said in Sanskrit, will always keep us in the outer world, where we see everything and identify ourselves with the body. Like I say, I'm Vijay Shastri Kodamurthy, a chartered accountant who has achieved a number of designations, and I'm definitely greater than many of the other people. Not realizing that one day this I, the body, is going to come to an end, whereas the soul, which is within me, the Atma, is the permanent and eternal. I've learned from Bhagavad Gita that I have to first realize, using my sixth sense, that Antakarna, which is the Antakarna, that I am not the body but the Atma. And that is the reason I asked myself this question as to who am I, the body or the sixth sense? And I have come to realize that I'm definitely not the body, but much more than that. And my body is only a means to an end. It helps me execute everything that comes into the mind. So this is not a subject that can be discussed and concluded in one webinar, Dr. Sharma. but it is something which has to be gradually impressed into every individual over a period of time. Unfortunately, we realize this about all the very late in our life, because we have not been told about who we are and what is the purpose of our life from the time we are born. We are not being taught. We all realize at some point through various means, and then come to know about all this. So that's not how it should be. And it's my humble request, Dr. Sharma, that a person like you, who is in the process of making education and skills relevant, you know, uh, we want your help. Me and Gurpreet Sibal, who's my uh, good friend and who has also come on your show earlier, we would like to take your assistance and bringing about this into the books. I remember that when I was a child, we used to have a subject called moral science, wherein they used to teach us about morality. Now, morality basically is a part of our life, but you know, it can be taught when you are young. It can't be taught after you are grown up, because after we reach a certain age, even if somebody wants to tell us, we say, sorry, wait a minute, I know, please don't tell me. So it is good to impart that into the education system, Dr. Sharma. And I personally feel, and I request you, to see how we can do this together. With whatever knowledge I have, I'm certainly putting all this in a very simple form, so that it can be discussed. It can, and at various levels, we can gradually induct it into the system, whereby it can be understood, and not necessarily only in India. I would like to start this from India, because Bhagavad Gita, we are very fortunate to be born in India, and Bhagavad Gita was narrated by God in India, and it nowhere speaks about any religion. It only speaks about our life, as I mentioned to you. And so it is, if we can bring this into our system, trying to tell all the regulators that this is not something to do with any religion. It is something to do with each and every person's child, because eventually today's child is tomorrow's future. And I always hear Prime Minister Modi ji saying India has the youngest generation. And, I'm proud to always hear that, because, we have the youngest generation, and those are the people who are going to make a big change and making India the superpower in the world in the next few years. And as we bring back all these values that we have in our life, which have been imparted, which have been there for years and years, I don't even know, they say 5,000 years ago or even more than that. But we are fortunate that we have. So may I request you to please help us in so this is my perspective of who am I, the body or the sixth sense. And I would like you to give me your thoughts, and if somebody has any questions, I would like I do my best to answer whatever I can.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's such a wonderful input from your side. It's a wonderful beginning, and you brought a lot of warmth and I would say human warmth, because humanity warmth, and particularly when you talked about Bible, Quran, and Gita, when you talked about eternal peace, moksha, and Jannat, the triangle we had drawn over there itself, and we have given. We also believe in a triangle quite a bit. Education is incomplete without skill, and education and skill are incomplete without right kind of an opening to be done for every child. Now, let me share something very important, few things which I'll give you a little perspective. The new education policy 2020, which came last year on 29th of July. Now, our chamber, as it is deeply associated with the Indian diaspora and having visited a large pool of the universities, institution, colleges, setups, research organizations abroad, when we carried out a little interaction with all of them at different places, and I just checked up with them and I told them, please give me one reason why somebody would come to India for higher education. So we were discussing with each other, and the entire information which we got from various countries, from different places, there were different packaging and different perspectives. Now, as far as countries where at present the people are coming to India for their higher studies, whether in a government institutions or in private institutions, whether they are coming through ICCR under the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, couple of programs, scholarships and all, or they are coming under various other schemes, or some of the paid students are also coming to India. Our embassies, our high commissions, our missions which are abroad, they are also in touch with a lot of ecosystem of education abroad. So the people at present, those are coming over here, certainly they are coming from they're coming from African continent, they're coming from Central Asia, they're coming from certain portions of South Asia, yes. Now, when I told them specifically, if you have to get the people from Europe, you have to get people from Canada, if we have to get people from United States, or for that matter, even if we get people from Australia or New Zealand, so why will they come to India and what for they will come? That was the question which I posed when we were carrying out that research. The one prime answer which came to us, that was a great soothing to the soul when they told, look, we have got all comforts abroad. We have all got all gadgets. We have got all facilities, everything and all. What we are looking forward to is inner peace. We are looking forward to, the quest is, or something which has to come from within. So I said, then what has to be done? They told, if the education, so-called academics, are somewhere wrapped up and they are giving the beautiful icing on the cake in a way where this spiritual journey, meditation, and inner engineering is being taken into consideration, which Sadhguruji also keep talking from time to time, I was touched. They told that we all believe that if you really want to get solace, you want to get peace, you want to get inner peace, then you must take a trip to India once. So I come from a background, uh, the industry which is called dream merchants, and that is tourism industry. Tourism people, they sell dreams, right? Whether it's a travel agents or it's a tour operators or it's a tourist transporters or whosoever is into the tourism ecosystem, they sell you dreams. They tell you, if you go to Eiffel Tower, go get yourself photographed over there, or move up, take the lift, enjoy, go see it yourself. It's a different world altogether. So what I'm sharing with you is, first of all, we got to understand that Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, and when we are talking about Gita, all 18 chapters is a valuable input. My first request to you would be, like, whenever we take on any subject or any document or any historical uh, book or perspective or a treasure, or whatever you want to call it, you got to link it with today's education ecosystem. So if we relate it to management examples, if we talk it to, understanding strategies, innovative strategies, futuristic strategies, human values, ethics, emotional quotient, values, what are the values in life, and although they fought, Kauravas and Pandavas, but there was an ethical way of going, and there used to be a particular trumpet. Now the war began, now the war ends, now the sunset has taken place, and a couple of other things which has to be taken. So when I'm talking from today's education perspective, number two, skills. We had Gurukul Parampara earlier, right? Guru Shishya Parampara and Gurukuls. You would be happy to know that our former president of the chamber and the present one of the patron of the chamber, Professor Satyendra Dhiman, who's based out of United States. He's in California, he's in Burbank, Los Angeles. His residence door opens in front of Universal Studios. And when we talked with him, we have developed a strategy to have e Gurukul Gyan Yagya. E Gurukul Gyan Yagya. When you say Gyan Yagya, yes, there are different Yagya. This is a Gyan Yagya. When you say Mahamrityunjaya Mantra, you recite or you have it 108 times. So what we have done, from 108, we have moved to 1008. From 1008, we have moved to 10,008. So what we are planning is this number will keep increasing. We want to have a confluence of educators, academicians, trainers, visionaries, skill developers, master trainers from world over. Our Indian brothers and sisters, those are stationed in different countries, together we would like, by the means of digital highways, no physical travel initially, because nobody knows how long this pandemic will continue, how it's going to behave in future. So what our strategy is, that we do not need any money. I am telling categorically on this platform, we will not be taking any donation, any money of any kind from anybody. Our
Let me
Gyan Yagya. Yeah.
Yeah, let me say something about
Yeah.
the two good things that you shared, Dr. Sharma, about the e-Gurukul Yajna. It is very nice that, my intent is that, like I said, we should have this in the education system, starting with India. That's what I said. Because it is not just India alone. It has to be taught all across the world, because India is a subcontinent in the world, but the whole universe has the same souls. So we need to educate the people, whether it is in Canada or in the United States or in Europe or anywhere in the world. So doing things like e-Gurukul Yajna is very good. But we have to have a system, like you rightly said, that we have to relate the whatever we are talking about in the Bhagavad Gita to the education system, which should be current and relevant. But what I have found in Bhagavad Gita is that it is relevant at any point in time. It is not relevant to a specific point in time, and that's why it has been narrated by
Yes. Yes.
the ultimate, so that we all that we need to do is to see that how do we relate I mean, the small things. And that's why I said it's a very vast subject, and we will have to bring them in such a way that we are able to relate the two and make it relevant. That's exactly what I said. And your motto is making education and skills relevant. So I mean, we are here to do whatever help is required, because I'm also a member of the Canada India Foundation. I'm on the board of Canada India Foundation. We do a lot of things relating to the development between the relationship between India and Canada at the policy level. We can always see in the education system how it can be brought here in Canada. Similarly, Dr. Simant, who's there, Demand, who's there in the US, we all can bring it across the globe. And eventually, that is my thought, that this is something which has to be known by everyone, not late in the life, but
Absolutely.
all
Absolutely.
through the life. That's
Yes,
all.
absolutely. What we had established earlier, finishing school, And from finishing school, we converted it to finishing lab. Like you have a science lab, you have a chemistry physics lab, you have a biology lab, you have a computer lab, you have other labs. Let me just take on some inputs also. Like there's a gentleman, Mr. Rajesh Bharadwaji, who is posting a couple of inputs from his side. I would like to clarify over here. We are not talking about physical infrastructure. We are not talking about education in four walls. That time has gone. Kindly leave it behind in month of January and February of 2020. The future is going to be where we are talking about artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, machine learning, Internet of Things. You don't require now big infrastructure on ground. It's a cloud. Whosoever will hold a more space on the cloud computing will be have. Why to have physical movement? Because your question you're writing over here, before getting the foreigners and all, we should ensure that they should have adequate infrastructure in India. We do not want to get them at one place. It's a global ecosystem being developed that you get. And thereby, I wish to share that slide once again. We talked about, when we were talking about communication, personality enhancement, creativity, collaboration, and continuous learning, we gave some inputs: art, music, dances, values, heritage. We would respect every country's their own art, culture, and their own ethos. We do not want that you should accept or it should be imposed on you that you take ours only. No, it is, world is a global village now, and all of us, we are moving. What we are talking over here is the concept of gurukul, what used to be traditional earlier guru shishya parampara. We are talking over here e-gurukul, digital gurukul, in your respective country gurukul. You are having gyan yagya. That means if Shastriji is expert in finance, I take his expertise towards from the finance side. Somebody is towards management, somebody is towards science, somebody is towards atomic energy, somebody is towards neons, others other, whatever is their expertise. We should have a confluence of our brothers and sisters. Because why I wish to share, 31 millions are abroad at present, our brothers, sisters, Indian diaspora. Out of 31 million, when we have carried out the segregation, how many doctors are there, how many nurses are there, how many teachers are there, how many people are running their own small business like a retail shop, nursing home, some other, some business, whatsoever. Somebody is into transportation business, somebody is into gas business, somebody is into, like Darshan Dhaliwal, who owns a majority of the gas stations at present in United States. Similar way, Shud and Budh brothers, Tut brothers, Yuba City, when I come over here, Didar Singh Bains, who has got the largest chunk of land for the cultivation of organic farming. Similar way, we have got lots of people abroad. Now, Kannanji, he is having specialization in water management strategies. Professor Shuklaji in Houston, Dr. Vivek Shankar Natarajanji, he has got his own, Professor Sanjay Mehta ji. I'm just telling you some of the people with whom we are already collaborating world over. We are already in
Dr.
touch.
Sharma,
Please.
I would just
Yeah,
like to add one small thing based
sure.
on the comment of Mr. Bharadwaj that,
Yeah.
you have rightly said that the world has become a global village. In the moment we say it's a global village, there is nothing like a foreigner because,
Yes.
and we, and I, we all living, even though we live abroad out of India, we have all our love and affection
Your
and
heart is
everything.
here. Your heart is
Yeah.
here.
So, and similarly, the world is a global village, and everyone should benefit from the whatever the science that human beings have developed. Now, everybody can be connected through the
Yes.
electronically. So, where is the
Yes.
need for you to go and sit in a classroom and read?
Yeah.
You can can sit in on a computer, in front of a computer, and learn everything that you want.
And
Then there will be no foreigner, because only the IP address will determine who is a
yes,
foreigner. But
yes,
otherwise, nobody would even know from
yes,
where I am talking or you are
yes.
talking.
The world has moved on, and we have to understand. There is another very interesting point I would like to touch over here, Vijayji. In India, by the time the child goes to school, joins the school, and by the time the child passes out, your midterm exam, your final exam, your semester exam, your internal exam, do you know how many exams are conducted? We carried out the entire survey. 112 exams are being conducted by every child. And whereas in Finland, Denmark, by the time child passes, there are only 3 exams. By the time you finish your school, who introduced this examination system? I'm going to meet him in his graveyard. I'm going to pull him out from there. Why have we introduced so many examination systems? You want creativity of the children, or you want the examination system? You want that they should vomit it out whatever you have taught them, or you want that they should have collaboration, creativity, imagination? The day, and that's why I lost one of my very close friends during this coronavirus, Sir Ken Robinson. He was from UK. He moved on to USA, and thereafter he had gone back to UK, and he passed. He passed away during this corona, and that's a sad story. But whenever we discussed and we found out, he told, "Do schools kill creativity?" We kill the creativity of the child because we say A is for apple only, whereas A stands for 30 other things. We don't allow. Okay, Sir Ken Robinson, fine. You would say he's a foreigner, outside, white person you're talking. Let me talk about Dr. Sugata Mitra, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, IIT Delhi graduate, the guy who did extremely well, and he did one experiment. Those of us who enjoy education and you want transformation in education, you should see one video called Hole in the Wall. Hole in the Wall. He fitted 2 computers in wall, no teacher, no guidance, nobody to disturb them, and just one camera fitted on the top to take all recording. After 1 month, they came. Children picked up 80% of computer knowledge at their own without any teachers. So thereby, education has moved on. Now we all got to understand. Education initially, when we moved from Tanga to the industrial era, to that steam engine, to those factories, it's a long time. 19th
But
century belonged to Europe. 20th century belonged to US. 21st century belongs to Asia. And we all
yes,
got to understand.
Dr. Sharma, you're absolutely right. And in order for us to, make sure that our children learn and be more creative, I think we have to bring a change in the system, that they are not overwhelmed by carrying, a ton of bag behind their backs to the school, just reading whatever is there about the history and the geography. That is not what has to be learned by them.
It's
They have to learn what we are discussing right now. What is your life, what is the purpose of your life, and how can you achieve what you have to achieve, not by
uh,
reading
uh,
something that is not relevant.
Sastriji, it is coming in the new education policy. It has already been announced. We are just waiting for it. Now, arts, commerce, and science, all compartment has been removed. Science person can take music. Commerce person can take fashion designing. Art person can take one of the science subject. All those barriers have been removed. MPhil has been removed. The teachers, now the accountability comes over here. We have to understand, in the industrial era, it was a factory production, and similar way children were sitting in the classroom on the benches also, and that time it was teaching, that means teacher centric. Thereafter they told, we got to change now the education ecosystem to learning centric. Then came corona, and then they told, role of the teacher now has changed again. Teacher is now facilitator. The corona coming second wave, the role of teacher again has changed. Now teacher is a co-learner. Let's understand. No more facilitation also is required by children now, because children are taco savvy. They understand. And imagine, search your heart, put your hand on your heart, and find out 25th of March 2020, when the complete lockdown was declared in India. that day we all were waffling. We were struggling. What is Zoom? What is what exactly is Microsoft? And what exactly is Cisco? What exactly is Google? What is a platform? On which digital platform? How do I show to children? How do I show my PPT? What exactly? You all have come a long way. And there's another study which has come 15 days back. The world has moved 10 years faster in adopting the technology during this coronavirus. So crisis also tells you how to survive. And education is not going to go back to January, February 2020. Education has to move on now. All of us, we have to understand there were many other people. Those were very good, but they were not getting recognition. Now, digital way. I will count only positive things, nothing negative, because I'm a positive person and our chamber is very positive. All my governing body people are very positive. Our president is very positive. Our patron is very positive. Number one, you have removed, it is not a digital divide, it's a digital binding, because the children, those are in rural areas, interiors, far-flung areas, they have an access to same lesson which people were having in the convent schools in the metros and the main cities. Number two, children have a facility to go through your lesson again and again, again and again. Many times they were feeling shy in class. If I ask a question, people may laugh at me. 45 minutes class, attendance is to be taken. Teacher wants to just complete the session. You're rushing, you're just rushing. Now the child is going to evaluate. The other day we had a seminar for 600 principals together. And when we had organized that particular 600 people program, the principals were telling me, Dr. Sharma, we are no more principal. I said, what are you talking about? You all are principals of the school. How are you saying that? No, 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 we are not principals now. I said, then who is principal? Parents are principal. I said, how? They sit next to the computer and they watch and they tell children, this teacher has done the homework properly. This teacher, she has just come without any preparation. Very poor. Yeah, please go ahead.
Let me say something there, Dr. Sharma, because we have always believed that Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Guruve
Guru
Namaha.
Nama.
So, we always have to learn from our gurus. And, the role of the teacher might have changed because of Corona, but I'm sure the learning, the teaching should be done by the gurus only, by the teachers, the
Sir,
principals. Their
I,
role cannot shift.
Vijayji, I should not be misunderstood. What I wish to convey is
No, no, no. I'm
teachers
not saying
have
that.
teachers have to be co-learners now,
Oh, sure.
because two things are very important. You and me, you have got a day ahead and I have got a night ahead. By the time I'll go to sleep and I'll get up tomorrow morning, the technology is moving so fast. There is so much of information coming. There is so much of information coming that it is difficult for me to synthesize even for one subject, how to talk about six subjects. And there are certain things I am admitting today in public before this camera that my PhD is irrelevant today. If I have done a PhD 35 years back, it doesn't hold the relevance today. The world has moved on. Things has moved on. There are so many subjects we taught our children, but it doesn't hold any kind of a relevance. We may say basic values will remain, rote learning was important, whatever justifications we want to give, let it be. But technology is moving, and speed is very important for all of us to understand, because unless we do not hold speed, there's going to be difficulty, because by the time the school or college will change the syllabi, the child will pass out, and that particular knowledge what you have imparted will become obsolete. And if you go through the World Economic Forum, they say that next 5 years, the skills which would be required by the industry are not existing today. So it means whatever we are teaching today, that may not go on, that may not be there. So we all got to understand, it is very important for all of us to understand that in education ecosystem, we all have to run fast. Speed is the buzzword. Technology is coming very fast. Let's adopt and let's learn. And now everybody would be changing 5 to 6 professions in one lifetime. That is something which you have to remember. Gone are the days when our grandparents, they joined a particular company and a particular profession and they retired from there only. It's not going to happen now that way. It's going to be altogether different. We have to understand that, and thereby keep upskilling yourself, keep learning new skills. And during this coronavirus, as long as the crises are there, problems are there, difficulties are there, a lot of companies are giving you free courses. Why don't you take a course of your passion, take a course of your choice, take a course whatever you want to undergo. Kindly pick up any program anywhere, wherever you want. And now it's a lifelong learning. Everybody has to understand that, including me. If I stop learning, picking up new things, I'll be outdated. I'll be redundant. I'll be obsolete. I'll be obsolescent. Nobody is going to accept it. I got to keep pace. And मैं युवा पीढ़ी के साथ हूं, मैं यूथ के साथ हूं. And this particular youth, our new breed, they are very creative, they are very dynamic, they are superb. The only thing is they are looking forward to right input. बच्चा आपसे ये पूछेगा, ये सब्जेक्ट मैं क्यों पढ़ूं, ये टॉपिक मैं क्यों पढ़ूं. और दूसरी बात, मुझे ये बता दीजिए, इस पढ़ने के बाद, ये चीज कंप्लीट करने के बाद आप मुझे रोजगार देंगे, आप मुझे जॉब देंगे, क्या मुझे काम मिलेगा, क्या मुझे स्टार्टअप मिलेगा, क्या मुझे आप सपोर्ट करेंगे. सो नोबडी वुड लाइक टू लर्न एनीथिंग. एंड दैट्स व्हाई, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, एज अ मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर, आई ऑलवेज बिलीव, today when you go and talk to any platform, they ask you three things: who are you, number two, what do you have, and number three, why do I listen to you? These three questions you have to answer. So thereby you have got three things, and that is also FFF: get focused, have faith, and follow through. If you do that, you will be able to overcome that, because world is moving very fast. And stop underestimating yourself that, look, I stay in a village, मेरे माँ बाप तो अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, मैं तो बहुत गरीब हूं. अभी वो बात खत्म हो गई. अगर आपके पास अगर ये छोटा सा मोबाइल फोन है ना, और आप गांव में भी रह रहे हैं ना, और लास्ट वाली जगह में भी है ना, सो यू नीड नॉट टू वरी ऑन दैट. नो चाइल्ड गॉट टू वरी. और किसी बच्चे को भी कोई प्लेटफॉर्म, किसी तरीके की प्रॉब्लम है, एनी स्कूल, एनी कॉलेज, एनी इंस्टीट्यूशन, एनी संस्था, come on our platform, we will support you, we'll give you all the valuable inputs whatever you need. We have got contents, we have got material, we can take on that. But yes, our expertise are in services sector. We are not dealing in agriculture, we are not dealing in manufacturing, we are in services. There are 52 different areas of services sector, and they all are beautiful sectors. because देखिए, हर इंसान सब कुछ नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन हर इंसान बहुत कुछ कर सकता है. Everybody cannot do everything, but everybody can do lots of things. So let's do tourism, hospitality, airlines, media entertainment, radio, television, theater, music, films, health, wellness, education, skills, competencies, capabilities, retail, shopping mall. Whatever you talk, these all are services sector, and they are with us. Telecommunication, IT sector, ITES sector, and I would also encourage children, those are interested to do part-time jobs, now pick up the strategy of abroad, like Germany, like South Korea, like Japan, that is called earn and learn. Earn and learn. Internship, apprenticeship, all that is very important, which we have to take on. So Vijay Shastri ji, I was just filling up the gap, because when you're technical, so I just thought that I should give a little input to children from my side,
Sure, sure.
because a
Thanks
lot of
for the
youngsters
input.
have joined us.
Yeah, I would like to say something, Dr. Sharma, that we are not very far, because now everything is through the internet, and can get connected, and everyone in their respective countries, if they can do, then this can be spread all across the globe, and that should be the purpose. And with your organization, we should be in a position to come out with some solution in such a way that it taking into mind, like you had rightly mentioned earlier, we should reflect on what is required for the current education system, and who can be a better person than yourself,
No,
because
no, all
you
of us
interact
together.
with all of them. So we should be, we should all come together. Even Gurpreet ji is, very knowledgeable about this side of it. So all of us together can come out with something that can be taught, and can be taught across the world, not necessarily only in India or in Canada. That's my humble request to you, as I mentioned earlier also.
Wonderful. And there are a couple of comments. If you'll permit me, I'll just take it on quickly. There
Please.
is a Anita Sharonji. Let us have a platform where common people from all professions can share the guidance they have received from our Shastras and use to solve the conflict they faced. Wonderful. Well said. That's what is E-Gurukul Gyan Yagya, what we are talking about. Vimal Chauhan. Opportunities don't happen, you create them. Yes, so well said. From Imphal, uniquely presented beautiful thoughts by Shastriji. Great. BB Subha Foundation, truly expressed proud of Canada. Great. Then comes Eswasa, good suggestion, extraordinary session, knowledgeable session. Anita Sharanji, yes, we do. I'm a teacher and a principal now. Great. It's a pleasure, Anita ji. And we all should get across to each other like we have shown the last slide and you have seen it over there. And it would be a pleasure. And Avad Narayan Dikshit ji from Lucknow, great. Dr. Sharma, incredible. Thank you. And then Sonuji from Manipur, technology has brought us closer now. There are no barriers. We can get connected with anybody, anywhere, at any time. BB Subba Foundation, we need to introduce a seamless connectivity to empower our youth. Yes, so well said. We need a digital highways, not a physical highways now. That is something very important. And there are a couple of other things. Skill upgradation is necessary now. Yes, एक रामानुज पांडे जी हैं, आज के परिप्रेक्ष्य में बहुत ही सार गर्भित एवं उपयोगी जानकारी. Thank you, Pandit. Thank you for joining us. Very kind of you. Then from Imphal, let's promote service industry to bring a meaningful change. BB Subhaji Foundation, services sector will greatly help to bring a great change in the economic development of the country. Anita ji, content that appeals to global audience. Yes, that's what is our strategy. We are not going to impose our contents. We are going to have a confluence. And let me share with you, ladies and gentlemen, with all of you in a very polite way. I'm the first Indian Army officer, serving Army officer who moved on deputation to the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And with my entire team, we drafted India's first MBA tourism curriculum, while having the confluence of the entire world, which was launched in 37 universities and colleges in India at that point of time. I'm talking about 1989 and 90. So anything is possible. Everything is possible. All of us together. And Vijay Shastri ji has given such a valuable inputs to us today. And when he talks about the triangle, the Bible, the Quran, and so-called Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, the eternal peace, the Jannat, and of course, the climax is moksha. And all that when he has taken together. So hum log is journey mein, Vijay ji, we are together. We will move together. My only request to you would be start filtering out, start having a confluence of educators, academicians, trainers, skill developers, motivators, neuro-linguistic programming specialists, and influencers, inspirational talkers. You can take all the people together, and specialists of a particular fields. We can have them together on a common platform, and we all can move on from here.
Yeah.
And
We will
yes,
bring, I will bring here all of them who have, you have just outlined,
thank
Dr.
you.
Sharma. I have got a reasonably big amount of network. I know all these people,
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
we should certainly be
Thank
able
you.
to bring them together. And with your this thing, if we are able to
Thank
do it,
you.
we'll spread it the way we
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we close this session, I'm deeply touched by Tamil Nadu. There is a gentleman called Arumugam Srinivasan ji. I always remember him with Dikshit ji. Dikshit ji is in Lucknow and Arumugam ji is in Tamil Nadu. Arumugamji is a person who sent me the photograph of Swami Vivekanandji when he came back from United States to Kanyakumari, and he boarded a train from there, and en route he got down for a cup of tea and having a conversation at the railway station where he told, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. So I'm so grateful to all of them. They are just wonderful. Anita ji, would you be kind enough to write where exactly you are principal at present, which school or institution? And if you permit, Shastri ji, I would like to show her the slide once again, the last one, which so that they can send across in case if they have to write to us, if they have to reach us. Then if you recollect, these are all programs which we have got. And where is that slide? These are the programs. This is the program. This also we had today. This also we had today. So this is tomorrow morning, 9:30, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow morning, 9:30, Vidya Se Adhyatam Vidya Ki Aur, on the same YouTube channel. Tomorrow morning, Professor Satendra Dhiman. Vijayji, what I was talking about, he will be there tomorrow morning at 9:30. So
Oh,
if you have a time, do join us. And tomorrow at
9:30 our time, Eastern.
9:30 India's time, IST.
No
Yeah,
problem.
our morning
Anytime.
time. And then tomorrow at 11:30, there is a wonderful talk. There is a CEO of the Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council, Government of India. He's coming. And he'll be coming with right hand of late Yash Chopra ji. All the beautiful films what you have seen. Dil to pagal hai, Dil wale dulhaniya le jayenge, Lamhe, Chandni, Mohabbatein, the cinematographer of all those movies, and now the Punjabi movies. He is the person who is going to be with us tomorrow at 11:30. And then tomorrow at 3 p.m., we'll take you to northeast part of India. That is 8 beautiful states to which India's Prime Minister calls Ashta Lakshmi. And then tomorrow at 8 p.m. in the evening, non-resident Indians, you will have a beautiful deliberations, COVID-19, psychosocial stress, and the changed education ecosystem during and post-COVID, and what kind of a research initiatives to be taken up. We will be joined by Dr. Vivek Shankar Natarajan, our advisor in United States in the Lamar University, Texas, Houston. He is next to NASA. He would be joining us tomorrow evening, Indian Standard Time, 8 p.m. So that is what we have got. Now, this is something very important, Anita ji, for you. You can have it over here. This is something very important I wish to share, that all of us, which I was requesting Vijay Shastri ji, let's come together. Let's make education relevant. The global confluence of educators, motivators, technocrats, counselors, wellness experts, corporate, government administrators, decision makers, all of us together. Down below, we have got the email gsmotivator@icsi.asia. And Anita Sharanji, you can send a WhatsApp, you can send your number at 9988447058. This is India's number. On this number, people those are interested to get across to us directly, you can send a small WhatsApp, and then our team will get back to you. We would be more than happy to collaborate. And Anita ji, there is a lady who is a deputy director in the government of Haryana. Of course, Khotiala ji is the chairperson for higher education. And now that that what's his name? What's his name? I'm just trying to recollect. Anita, what's her name in Haryana? There is a lady who joins every evening with us, Haryana education. When I talk about, yeah, Indra Beniwal. She is the deputy director, Haryana Education School Systems, and she's the one who is with us. Hemant Verma ji is with us, and then now Samvartak ji. Samvartak ji has taken over as a special secretary for school education in Haryana. Samvartak Singh ji, he was earlier in Chandigarh. Now he is the heading as a special secretary in Haryana education. So it would be a pleasure, and all of us together we can work out, and whatever we can do for the humanity, we would be more than happy to take all of you with us. And that's what we have given the details to you. Get across to us and let's make the global confluence. So that was with the permission of Vijay Shastriji. Thank you. Because I just thought I should show that so that people should know where to reach, whom to reach, how to reach. Everything should be possible over there. So, ladies and gentlemen, the backdrop itself, it focuses only on education. See, making education and skills relevant. आइए शिक्षा को प्रासंगिक बनाएं. ग्लोबल कॉन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ इंटेलेक्चुअल्स, T5 सीरीज. आपने सुना होगा टी सीरीज चलती है ना, तो T5 सीरीज, टीचर्स, ट्रेनिंग, टेक्नोलॉजी, today and tomorrow. It's a professional and personal growth of all teachers, educators, principals. Vocational education is future. More than the hardcore academics, we got to focus on skills of children because they need job. The left side is for principals and teachers. On the right hand side is for the youth. Education skills Vani. That means my vocals which are coming to you. Empowering young minds. B2B is back to basic. बुनियादी बातों पर वापस आ जाइए. Soft and life skills. जीवन संचालन कौशल. Follow your passion. मन की उड़ान. माननीय प्रधानमंत्री कहते हैं मन की बात, हम कह रहे हैं मन की उड़ान. और ये
डॉक्टर
देखिए,
शर्मा, मैं एक छोटा सा चीज बोलूं. आयरलैंड में आई हैव गॉट वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स एंड client, and they have demand for a number of skilled workers. When you are talking about skill, so there is huge need for the skilled people from India.
okay,
And
which
you're
country are you talking
absolutely
about?
Ireland.
Okay, Ireland. Okay.
Yeah. So, you're absolutely right that vocational training today is much more in need than the general system of education where you make a Bachelor of Commerce or a Bachelor of Science.
Yes.
So, you have
So,
hit it on the right place.
so last May, every child and every teacher has to say, I can, I will, and I must. That is possible. Once you take this pledge, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, with these words, we convey our deep gratitudes and thanks to Vijay Shastri Kotamartiji. He was very kind to be with us today. Although it's a holiday in Canada, but I can understand he gave his valuable time, and we are starting a beautiful journey with him. Let us see that how the things move on. We would be more than happy. We are looking forward to people those are having spiritual bent of mind, because ultimately answer to wahi chahiye, who am I? That is the climax. So with these words, our deepest gratitudes and thanks to you from the chamber. Thank you very much, Vijay Shastriji, and I'm grateful to Gurpreet ji also for connecting us, and we will take on this journey forward from here.
My pleasure, Dr. Sharma. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And wish you a great day ahead. So green morning, green